أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على النبي الأمي العربي القرشي المكي المدني الهاشمي صاحب قاب قوسين محبوب رب المشرقين والمغربين جد الحسن والحسين والنبي الحرمين والإمام القبلتين والرسول الثقلين الذين سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرض بأبي القاسم محمد. وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين المنتخبين المنتجبين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين روح وأرواح العالمين رجال مسلم الفتن، واللعنة الدائمة الباقية على أعدائهم ومنكر فضائلهم وفاسد حقوقهم أجمعين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه تبارك وتعالى في محكم كتابه ومحكم خطابه: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يعوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. لا إكراه في الدين قد تبين الرشد من الغي، فمن يكفر بالطاغوت ويؤمن بالله فقد استمسك بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها والله سميع عليم. رسالة صلوات على محمد. For the safety and the good health and the tawfiqat of all of the children, inshallah, we're going to be participating in the program, and those attending the program, reciting Ilal Salat. And to hasten the reappearance of our awaited Imam, reciting third Ilal Salat. The verses that are recited are the same as the ones that we continually since the first night have been mentioning. It's verse 255 and verse 256 of Surah Baqarah, Ayatul Kursi, and the verse that follows Ayatul Kursi. To now to, very briefly, because there's no time for introductions and no time for any sort of setting up the stage, we have to go directly into our topic of today, which is a very important topic related to the, as you know, our theme, Tawheed, according to the school of Ahlul Bayt, and related to that very important theme. And this theme is this topic that I want to address today very quickly is one that's very relevant to our society. It's very relevant to our cultures as well, and is very relevant all round. And that is with regard to the stars. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the sun, the moon, the planets, the stars, and there's a purpose behind creating them. He tells us that He's created these stars in order to help us be guided in the land and in the sea. As you know, in the past, even up to today, ships are guided at sea through the stars. So these, the purpose of the creation is to help people to understand the way, understand the routes, understand the methods, and to be guided in this way. And this knowledge about the stars, the knowledge about the planets, is called astronomy, as you know. Branching off from this knowledge, which is a very important field or very important field of knowledge, astronomy, as a result of which human beings have made many discoveries amongst that have benefited them, and inshallah subsequent discussions will come to that as well. Branching off from this knowledge is the knowledge that's called astrology, and slightly different from astronomy. And of course, astrology is the knowledge or the science or the belief that stars affect our lives. You know, when you get the newspapers, there's people that will leave all the news and go to the pages which mention the stars, and they want to find out what does the star sign say about what's going to happen to me in this week or in this month or in my life. So, and sometimes you even hear about people saying we want to get married to this person if they have this star sign. I'm not joking, this is a serious thing. You know, I myself had cases come to me of people saying that this person wants to get married to this person but their star signs don't align, that's why they can't get married. So, in reality, what is the reality about this particular thing? Are we allowed? Is this something that we can rely on? Is there any truth to this matter? And if there's any truth, is it permissible for me to look into these stars and believe in them and follow what the advices of the astrologers are? So it's a very important topic, and we have to, in this regard, look towards our A'immah to tell us about the correct Tawheed. And it's obviously related to the topic of Tawheed, is in that, is it Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who controls my life? Is He the one who can change my life? Or is it the stars which will change my life? So in this regard, there's three different opinions. And they're very important, so I want you to listen carefully. One opinion that exists is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this universe, He created everything that's in the universe, and then He retired. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is retired. He has no involvement in the universe. And all the universe is controlled by the stars. This is one opinion. Second opinion is that no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not, we don't put Him straight into the old people home. We believe that He is still involved in the universe, but the stars also affect our lives in some way or another. And then the third opinion is that no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in control, but the stars give us an indication into, or the movement of the stars and the planets and the sun and the moon give us indication into certain important things happening in our lives. So they have some kind of importance. Marhum Abdullah Khouy Rahmatullah Alayhi comments on all three of these opinions in Tafsir Majma' Bayan, and he says all three of these opinions are batil. The first opinion, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has retired, alayhi billah min dhalik, is called tafweez, that He has delegated everything to somebody else, and that is kufr. The second opinion, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is involved in my life and stars also influence my life, that is shirk, that I made something shareek, something equal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the decision making process. Since the third opinion is also batil, why? It's not kufr and it's not shirk. This third opinion, that stars give some indication into my life. But in reality, there's no proof about this from our A'immah. And if there was any such thing or any truth to such a matter, then A'immah would have mentioned this in their narration. So in reality, what is it? Why, for example, when the day that the Holy Prophet Islam had a son from one of his wives called Maria, and he was called Ibrahim. He was born in Medina and he also passed away in Medina. He's buried in Jannat al-Baqi. On the day that Ibrahim ibn Rasulullah died, there was a solar eclipse. So some people came and they said, Ya Rasulullah, is this a sign? And Rasulullah said, no. It's nothing to do with the fact that my son has died today. The solar eclipse has nothing to do with the fact that my son has died today. Don't try to connect the fact that my son has died and that there's a solar eclipse and that these two are related to one another. Now in the matter of the stars, what is the purpose of the stars? The purpose of the stars is that if it's a dark night and you look up to the sky, in order for the sky to be illuminated, in order for the sky to be decorated, there are stars. There are zinat, decoration, adornment of the skies. So in this regard, we have a hadith from our fifth holy Imam, Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam. And he says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the stars for the adornment of the sky, for the zinat of the skies. When you look up to the skies, it looks beautiful when there's a dark night and there's stars on the horizon. It looks beautiful, it looks nice. He says, similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created some stars on the earth. Just like there's adornment for the sky when you are on earth and you look up to the sky and that looks beautiful to you. He says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created some stars on the earth, and when the angels look down from the sky to the earth, they are also pleased the way that you are pleased when you look up to the skies and look at the stars. So they say, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, who are these stars that the angels when they see from the skies, these stars, they are adorned, they illuminate on earth. He says these are the family or the zurriyat of the Holy Prophet of Islam. When the angels look down from the sky to the earth, it is illuminated in the way that the sky is illuminated by the stars when the people of the earth look up to the stars. But the conclusive, decisive proof against astrology comes from a sermon of Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam, which he delivers in response to an objection by an astrologer. And that sermon is a very short sermon. In fact, it's just an answer to his objection, and that is sermon number 79 in Nahj al-Balagha. Every time I do a series of lectures, I always try to make sure that there's one sermon from Nahj al-Balagha that we mention. And it's very important because Nahj al-Balagha is the peak of eloquence, the book from or collection by a scholar of the words, sermons, letters and words of Imam Amirul Mu'mineen. And every person, every believer, everyone who loves Amirul Mu'mineen should from time to time refer to this book and read what's in it and not just adorn it on their shelves. Sermon number 79, very short sermon. So I'm just going to read the part of it that's related to us. Sermon number 79 of Nahj al-Balagha, Imam Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam is about to leave for the Battle of Nahrawan. Battle of Nahrawan takes place in the 37th year after Hijrah. Imam Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam, at the end of the Battle of Siffin, when he agrees to arbitration, there's a group of people who break off and they're called the Khawarij. This group of people gather at a place called Nahrawan and they make the announcement that we're going to fight Imam Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam. I don't want to mention the Battle of Nahrawan, I just want to mention this. But I want to appreciate the importance of this particular sermon and this particular point regarding astrology and how it relates to Tawheed and how Imam alayhi salatu wasalam explains it about Tawheed. So this group of Khawarij, they're creating mayhem in the society. They're going around killing people, they're going around raping people, they're going around killing pregnant women, they're tearing out their babies out of their wombs. Truly horrific crimes. Imam Amirul Mu'mineen is about to leave for, so imagine, he's about to leave for battle, for the Battle of Nahrawan, and an astrologer comes to him. And he says, Ya Ali, if you leave at this time, you won't be victorious. according to the stars, if you leave at this time, you won't be victorious. I'm always reminded at this point whenever I read this sentence by that person, that Rasulullah says that whenever I sent Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam into battle, I knew with a guarantee that he's going to be victorious. That's why I always used to say when he's victorious. I didn't say if he's victorious. Every time I sent him into battle, I would always say when. It's only a matter of when. Wherever he goes, whenever he goes, he will be victorious. So this person says, Ya Ali, according to the stars, if you leave at this moment in time, you will not be victorious. Imam Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, he's on the horse, comes down from the horse, and he addresses him and all of his people with him. And he says to him that, no, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered me and ordained me as the Imam. And that this particular point or this particular statement is wrong for 3 reasons. Number 1, because it pretends and it assumes that this person knows something that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Number 1. Number 2, it is dangerous and kufr because this person is giving a prediction about something that he doesn't know. But he thinks he knows, but he doesn't know. Number 3, if by chance somebody gives a prediction based on stars and by chance it comes out to be true, then instead of praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the people will praise the person who made the prediction. And that is also kufr because that person who made the prediction was not the one in control. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one in control. Imam alayhi salatu salam said, know that whoever believes a person who makes such a prediction is believing a magician. And whoever believes a magician has committed act of kufr, went out of Islam, left the religion of Islam, as a result of believing in that which is kufr. And Imam Amirul Mu'mineen says, come, take the name of Allah, say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I hear it's been a bit of a serious discussion up to now. Usually people say, oh, if it's not halal, say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim will become halal. No. If you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, then even those people who make predictions against you, they will be defeated. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would make you victorious because Imam Amirul Mu'mineen ends the sermon saying, march, by saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And if you knew the weight and the meaning and the value of Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, that's when in the bazaar of Misr, Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam was placed on the scale and they placed a piece of paper next to him and that paper went down. They said, what's written on that piece of paper? He says, it says Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Imam Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam goes and he makes a prediction as well. He says, I'm going to this battle of Naharawan and know that there's only going to be 9 people from my side who are going to be killed. And from their side, there's going to be nobody who survives except for 9 people. Ibn Abil Hadid al-Mu'tazili in Sharh of Nahj al-Balagha, commentary on Nahj al-Balagha, 19 volumes commentary on Nahj al-Balagha, he says that this one statement from Imam Amirul Mu'mineen Ibn Abil Hadid al-Mu'tazili is not from the school of Ahlul Badr al-Muslim. Ibn Abil Hadid al-Mu'tazili says that if this one statement only existed from Imam Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam, that in itself is a proof in him being the Imam that he makes this prediction and it comes out to be true that only 9 people from his side are killed and no more than 9 people from the Khawarij survive on the day of the battle of Naharawan. Now, time is over and we have to do Masayim as well. But statement, this one, I only have time to mention one statement to go towards. That is that wherever religion of Islam is in need, wherever religion of Islam is in danger, wherever matter of Tawheed needs defending, there's always an Ali who comes to the defense of the religion of Islam. There's always an Ali who comes to the defense of the religion of Islam. Whether that Ali is Ali ibn Abi Talib, whether that Ali is Ali ibn Hussein, whether that Ali is Ali al-Rida, whether that Ali is Ali al-Hadi, whether that Ali is Ali al-Akbar, or whether that Ali is 6-month-old Ali al-Asghar. You know, for every shaheed in Karbala, when they go out into the battlefield, they know, everybody knows that this person is going into the battlefield, they're going to fight, they're going to kill people, and then they're going to go die. But there's only one shaheed, this one shaheed in Karbala, only. That Imam Hussain stands. Imagine, today, 20 million people in Karbala on the day of Arba'in. That day at Dil Zainabiyya, Imam Hussain stands alone. And he calls out, Hal min nasirin yansurna, Hal min mughithin yughithuna. Is there anybody to help me? Imagine. Why is he saying this? Maybe he's saying this because he says, I want you to know that yes, there is one more. There is one more to help. When he says, Hal min nasirin yansurna, there's sound of crying that comes from the tent. Weeping. He comes into the tent, he says, oh my sister Zainab, I'm still alive. Why is it that you're weeping when I'm still alive? And Sayyidina Sallallahu says, we're weeping because as soon as you said, Hal min nasirin yansuruna, Az-Zahra forcibly dropped himself out of the bed. Maybe he's saying, he can't speak, he's 6 months old, he's saying, how can you say, Hal min nasirin yansuruna when I'm still here? I'm still here. There's one more shaheed of Karbala. Hussain alayhi salam says, let me take the baby and let him have some water. Maybe they might have mercy on him and give him water. Hussain alayhi salam comes out into the battlefield and he's covering Ali Asghar with his abab. When the enemy sees that Hussain is coming, they say, maybe he's bringing the Quran. He reaches there and he says, if I did something wrong, if I oppressed somebody, if I killed somebody, if I changed the religion, forget about me. This 6-month-old baby is innocent. It didn't do anything. So give it some water. Give the baby some water. The narrations mention that people in the forces of Yazid start to cry. Umar ibn Sa'd senses that there's going to be rebellion. He calls on Harmala and he says, Iqta kalam al-Hussein. Cut off the words of Hussein alayhi salam. Harmala places 3-pronged arrow. Imagine. 3-pronged arrow is kept in order to hunt elephants. 3-pronged arrow is for hunting elephants. 6-month-old baby, 3-pronged arrow. Harmala releases the arrow. It doesn't go on the target. He puts the arrow in again, he releases the arrow again, it misses the target. Umar ibn Sa'd comes to Harmala and says, what's happened to you? What's happened to you? Harmala says, every time I try to fire the arrow, I notice that the curtain of the tent is raised. I'm thinking maybe the mother of the baby is watching. Ajrukumullah. Maybe the mother of the baby is watching. 3rd time he puts the 3-pronged arrow. He releases it. Now imagine 3-pronged arrow, it's coming towards Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Abba calls out from the tents, Ali Asghar. Ali Asghar, make sure that the arrow doesn't reach my master Hussain. Know that on the day of judgment, if anything happened to him, on the day of judgment, your grandmother would ask me that your son was there and my son got killed. Ali Asghar raises himself in the arms of Hussein alayhi salam. The three-pronged arrow comes and usually the people reading Masahib, they say it came onto his neck. I want to ask you, how big is a 6-month-old neck? The arrow rips his head from his body. Hussein alayhi salam takes the blood, it starts to bleed. He takes the blood, he wants to throw on the ground. Ground calls out, Hussein, not a drop of this innocent blood should drop on the ground, otherwise crops would not grow. He wants to throw it to the sky, a voice calls out from the sky, not a drop should come towards the sky, otherwise it will never rain. इनकार आसमां को है राजी जमीन नहीं, असगर तुम्हारे खून का ठिकाना कहीं नहीं. Now imagine, every shaheed has gone. People know that he's going to die, he's going to come back, but Ali Asghar has gone to get water. How does Hussein alayhi salam come back? He does that action that you and I will do on the day of Ashura. He says, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. He goes back, Ridam biqadaihi wa tasliman li amrih. I submit to your will, but how will I explain this to the mother of the baby? He does this 7 times, he comes into the tent. The children come running. Sakina says, oh my father, you didn't do justice. You fed the baby water, but I'm still thirsty. Abab just looks at the baby and says, Amithluka yunar. Even 6-month-old animals aren't killed. Last words. They come round behind the tent and they dig a grave and they bury the baby. It's the only person who's buried on the day of Ashura. तीरे सितम ने ज़ीस्त का नक्शा बिगाड़ के एक माँ की हसरतों के चमन को उजाड़ के काटा कज़ा ने नखले तमन्ना उखाड़ के सुनकर ये जिक्र गम से यूं टुकड़े पहाड़ के नन्ही सी कब्र खोद के असगर को गाड़ के शब्बीर उठ खड़े हुए दामन को झाड़ के.
Today, I don't know if many of you are aware that there is a national, international effort to celebrate the anniversary of the martyrdom of Hazrat Ali Az-Zahra alayhi salam. This was started in, I believe, Iran several years ago, And this is the first year that we as a center would like to participate in this International Day to remember the death of the youngest member of Imam Hussein's household during the Battle of Karbala. Inshallah, we're going to present a small documentary, and the children will be presenting speeches and doing some poetry as well. So if we can please have your undivided attention, we would like to get started with this at this time.
ایستاده بر اقصام جون نده رو دستام جون آقا قشنگ گل زدی تو چشمای بابا لا 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 بریدی سر کشیدی از یه دستای بابا وقتی ساقی آب نیاورد تشنه لب مرد وقتی دیدم مادر تو به گوشش گفتم آروم تا نشد دیر نگاه کن از سر تو
محمد و علی محمد بلندتر سلام.
Okay, so our first speaker will be Ellie Mack.